All right.
Hello, Jessica.
Hello, Pissara. Welcome. What an honor to have you here. Thank you so much.
สวัสดี
It's
ค่ะ This is what we say in Thai.
beautiful. Thank you so much for coming to our live session with Essenza Nobile.
I'm so happy and honored. Thank you so
Yes,
much for opportunity.
our pleasure. It's an honor for us. Yes, so should we wait a few more minutes to
Why
get
not?
a few people online?
Okay, great idea. And meanwhile, how is everything in Germany?
Everything is good. Christmas season is, as you know, started. I see a tree looking beautiful in the background. Yeah,
It's a very small one, and
it's a
I just
cute,
finished.
it's a lovely tree. And so, things are, heading towards Christmas season. And, but of course, the situation with the pandemic is still just uneasy, but it's a worldwide thing. So the good thing is that we're all together in this. So we need to stay strong for each other. Yeah.
Exactly. I did I was a lot at my home this year, so I did some live during the pandemic,
Yes.
and sometimes I just talk about like how to be happy in a small space, or you know by not traveling, by not buying anything.
Mhm. Yeah, which is important to keep your balance in focus because otherwise you can fall into deep holes of depression through all these crazy things happening. And you're right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's so many things that if we think too much, it's not good either.
Yeah, exactly.
Meditation, it helps so much.
Absolutely. Yes. You're so right. I feel your words very strongly, especially now. And we should really encourage everybody to come into their center and to not forget the peace within themselves to move forward and not get into
Yes.
this. Ah,
Yes, because it's difficult because many of my friends, my last job, I used to work in the hospital, and yeah, very strange, but
wow.
and so I know a lot of people even in France who are working in the clinic, hospital, and people who are nurses, laboratory,
Hmm.
COVID lab, who cannot stop working at all, during this whole time.
A lot of pressure for them.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And they
It's,
have like a lot of courage and I don't know how to say kindness
yes.
to continue this.
Yes. So it's a big responsibility, huh?
Very.
Working in hospital facilities nowadays, huh?
And it's very difficult job
Very
right now.
difficult job. Wow. Wow. And how long ago were you working in the hospital?
More than, if I count, more than 10 years ago.
Oh, so before, yeah. Okay, wow. Do you miss it?
Actually, I really enjoy, but I was like, so my job in the hospital was to
Mm-hmm.
help the international doctor and medical student came to do internship in my hospital, in my medical school, and I love working with people. It was very fun, but I quit because I feel like, it's not really my passion to,
Yes.
to do like the same thing like that. I couldn't imagine myself doing it at 50 years old.
Right, right. So you
Yeah,
followed your dream.
yeah.
Beautiful. So let's see. We have Wendy Croy online. Hi, Wendy.
Hello, Wendy.
Lovely to see you. All right.
So the life is now online at Facebook, Essenza Nobile.
Yes.
And how about Instagram? Is
Instagram, I'm not too sure if we can automatically click it on to Instagram. Do you know, Pizarra?
uh actually let me try something. I
Sure.
think you can also connect probably. Hello, Wendy Croy.
Hey, Wendy
So I'm
Croy.
looking at my life right now.
Lovely. So Sion Blitzko is going to try and connect us onto both Instagram and Facebook, but we definitely for now on Facebook, and we
Yeah.
can when the live chat is over, probably copy it onto our
Oh
Instagram.
yes, we can share it
Yeah.
definitely. Let me share it to my wall right now as well at Dusita
Hello.
wall, so people
Great.
can see it. Yeah.
Exactly. Perfect. Hello, Fotis, Rahaz. Lovely to have you here. Good.
Hello, honored to
So
be here.
we will be sharing this on all platforms. Uh,
Perfect.
hello, Yusu.
Good idea. It works. It works.
Great.
My wall also is work.
Perfect.
Perfect. I'm happy.
So,
I
shall we start?
yes. Let's start.
Great. Pisara, what an honor to have you here. Thank you so, so much.
Thank you again.
Thank you very much. All right, first of all, before we start the interview, I'd like to just tell you guys out there that we have our advent calendar open, and a very special gift today might be for a special winner. We have a draw, which we will give as a gift one full bottle of perfume from Dusita. So you might be a lucky winner out there. So you guys better get started. Thank you so much for that. For that.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Please participate a lot so you can win.
Yes, please. Don't forget. All right. Dusita, your lovely name. Well, Dusita is a term for Buddhism.
Yes.
Can you start maybe explaining briefly what it means to you and why you chose this name for your perfume house?
It started from one day I discovered the poem of my father. He said, if I die, I would like to be in Dusita. And to continue writing, to continue doing what I love. Dusita is a level of paradise. You know, in Buddhist, we have different level of paradise. It's like a hotel. And Dusita is a very special level because it's a level where the artist, the painter, the writer, the poet, the musician can live there and work with their own passion. So I chose this name that it explains the paradise and it means that you are free to express your own passion.
Oh, that's such a beautiful message, especially being an artist myself. That really touches my heart. Thank you. Um, I know that you grew up in Bangkok.
Yes.
And maybe you can let us know if your childhood has a special meaning at the capital of Thailand.
Bangkok is a very dear to me, like as a city. I grew up in Bangkok when it's in the middle of development.
Hmm.
So I was very lucky to have to live in a house with a big garden in the heart of Bangkok at that time. And my childhood was surrounded with the books because every day, like at that time, we all have the comic books, the books from Europe, and my father like to read. My mom and my dad like to read me the books and let me play in the garden. So sometimes I play alone, and probably that was why I was so fascinated with the smell. So I observed everything, the smell of the jasmine flower after the rain, the smell of the earth, the smell of the even like banana tree, the fruit, the mango fruit. So we have this kind of like I really love gardening at that time.
Lovely.
Yeah, so that's how I grew up, and I had like some friends who are so passionate about vintage perfume when I grew up later. So that's how my interest and my passion grew,
Beautiful.
developed.
So that's how basically you came to the sense of perfumes was through your childhood in Thailand, through the different smells that you carried with you in your adulthood.
Exactly.
Beautiful. That is so beautiful. I love that. And I know that your name, Pisara, it means freedom. Is that correct?
Yes, but
Wow.
actually it Isara. P, before P it
Yeah.
means freedom, and
Uh-huh.
in Sanskrit, like Indian language, they add P to say above freedom. So it's like above freedom, and
Above
then
freedom.
yeah.
Deep. That's really beautiful. I love that.
Thank
Um,
you.
do you remember your first encounter with perfumes?
Yes, I remember very well. I was around 3 years old,
Hmm.
and it was an evening, and then I was observing my aunt, who is like a really big fan of Ladu Tom, wearing, spraying herself and putting some lipsticks before. And I was looking at her, and I was, what is this beautiful aura of the smell?
Yeah.
That is so mesmerizing.
Hmm.
And my grandmother, she was also a fan of Germany eau de cologne, the 07511.
Yes.
So every day I kind of smell the beautiful bergamot, So every day was a kind of this to me. They wear a
Yeah.
lot.
Wow. So it became like a kind of ritual that you would
Yes,
just go into your grandmother's room and your aunties and just kind of feel what it brings onto your skin as well as
yes,
a child.
and it's a kind of sillage. Like I know exactly who went to that room because I feel that present
You
through
feel
to
it.
their skin, to that the thing that they left behind.
Oh, that is so touching. It's so beautiful. Lovely.
Thank
And when
you.
we talk about family, that just reminds me of one of the most important, probably the most important person in your life, which is your father. And his name, Montri Umavijani, is that correct?
Yes, is that
Oh,
correct?
good. And as you mentioned before, he was a very famous Thai poet. Is that correct? And I'd like to know what kind of person was he, and to what extent did he cultivate the shape of your own creative passion?
So my father was a very special person. Let me tell you a little bit about his childhood. He was born in a very poor family.
Mm.
So at that time, if you couldn't like have like a special tutor to learn English, so he went to the Parai Royal in Thailand, like the tourist spot, and offer the free guide to the tourists to just to practice his English. See, he was like a self-made man. He has even more than a gift. I would say that he reads so many books, like all the classic literature. He adored Goethe. He adored everything, and then he entered into Faculty of Arts and Literature. After he graduated, he got a scholarship. So to Northwestern University, where he studied master and doctorate there. So when he came back, he was a young man, and actually, one thing I feel that he liked to live in Europe, but he had to go back because he got a scholarship, so he had to be like work in the government as a professor. So he went back to Thailand and start to be a professor who is very passionate and students love him. He always like take extra hour explaining the history, the feeling in the literature, like more than what they asked for. And he also translate like classic poem like of Goethe and of many people like William Blake, Shakespeare into Thai. He want Thai people to understand. But all of these, he sell very little of his book, and he earned little money throughout his life. He didn't earn anything actually, but I found that he is so passionate. I remember he worked until 1 o'clock, two in the eve, two in the morning, like every day. And he's not the some he's a writer, but personally he's not someone who is so expressive with me
Mm.
um, at all. So basically he never say I love you. But when I went to study in the US when I was 16 years old, he came to visit me and he tried to find the excuse to stay there for 3 months. And he also brought like the little doll I used to play when I was like 2 years old.
Oh, that's how he expressed his love then, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
And for I feel that like perfume like Melody de l'amour, I make it for him because I feel like love is not like the word.
It's not the word. You are so
Yeah.
so touching. Oh my gosh. This is so beautiful. This is it's such an honor for me to hear these words
Thank
with you.
you.
This
Thank you so much.
thank you so much. Thank you. He was really your king, huh? On the throne, right?
Yes.
And
And
he
I
still is because you're still letting him live through your perfumes, right?
yes, that also
Oh.
like my personal value why I did Dusita.
So that's how his poetry and
Yeah.
your perfumes are connected, and
Very
that
deeply.
very deeply. So through each perfume that you create,
Yes.
you are honoring him.
Yes.
Am I right?
So he has a book, a compilation of the book of poetry called SOS the World. And I look at the book of the poem he wrote throughout the years. And then I chose one poem that touches and that can explain into the sense.
Beautiful, beautiful. That's really touching.
Thank
Um,
you.
Really touching, really touches my heart in a very special way. I have to hold myself back because it was very emotional for me, as well as you, I can see. Okay, Dusita. Dusita, I say PISSARA. I'd like to ask you another question. Above all your perfume creations, been very successful by, I know that you are a very passionate person privately, and um, you make beautiful paintings. You play several instruments, and I know that in Thailand that you played a few good roles as an actress. Maybe you could tell us about about your artistic hobbies and your passion in the world that is outside of fragrances.
So I was very lucky, in life sometimes there is a chance that came, but you didn't
Mhm.
expect it. So my let me talk about how I got into the movie thing. So I
Yeah.
was in my hairdresser and there was a producer there who saw me. At that time I still didn't finish my university,
Mhm.
but I said to myself, okay, give it a try. It was just um, it was a movie in Thai, and then I didn't sign the contract after because I want to continue my study more. And then I did three independent indie films
Uh-huh.
with some friends just because I really like and I really enjoy the idea of the film. And one of the film got banned completely,
Are you
got banned
serious? Oh well, should
because
I
it's too
ask why?
it's called Shakespeare Must Die, and actually
Oh,
it's the story of Hamlet. Actually, it's an
really?
adaptation of the Hamlet in Thai context, which is a very artistically done. Oh,
Wow, I
sorry,
love
I
that.
am wrong. Sorry, Macbeth and Hamlet.
Macbeth,
Yeah,
Macbeth.
Macbeth.
I love
Sorry,
Macbeth.
it's
Oh, that was
Macbeth.
my favorite in school. Really, we did an
Ah,
act in that. Yeah, that's interesting. And there's no way we can see this film.
um, good question. It came to Germany in film festival once in Berlin, and it came to Paris one too.
Uh-huh.
But I need to check with my friend who
You
produced it.
should. Yes, that's big. That's really interesting. Beautiful. Lovely.
Thank you.
And can you tell us about your paintings? I myself actually have seen some of your paintings, and I think they're really
Ah,
beautiful. Yeah.
thank you. So painting is what I do for fun And
Mm-hmm.
for me, I have a certain need to divert some activity apart from blending perfume. So painting is like something I create a kind of flow in my mind, So I can show you some painting. I,
Please.
I have it in here, scan it here. So my painting is, I use it as a perfume illustration as well. And sometimes I love to paint the raw material. And I think it's quite interesting. So this is like a New Year card I made. I'm gonna send you as well. This is like a drawing of Thai woman with like a princess,
Mm-hmm.
and I add some flower on top of her head. And each painting is just, I really love doing it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just I just paint my dogs, draw my dogs, or it can be a thing, it can be something that fascinates me. And it's such a good thing because when um, when I do this and I go back to my lab, I feel completely relaxed and I can work better.
Yeah. So it's a therapy like for you because it really calms you down and
Yeah,
you're more
I think
concentrated when you're in your laboratory. Yeah.
exactly. And it also a kind of meditation. I think the when we use the color, when we use like this is like kind of Eiffel Tower upside down.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. Maybe you just turn it. Oh, because of the screen, right?
Yeah.
Right. Wow. It's a lot of detail in there. What kind of paint do you use when you do your paintings?
Okay, when I
What do you,
was in Thailand, I have a professor who is like very expert in watercolor. And now
Mhm.
when I came here, I'm mixed media. Sometimes pen, a pencil. Sometimes it's just black and white drawing. Sometimes
Mhm.
it's a watercolor or color
Depends
pencil
what you
together.
feel in that moment.
Yes.
Lovely. Beautiful. All right. And let's talk about music. Let's talk
Okay.
about
Thank
music.
you.
I know you are a very, very talented woman. There's not many people that can do so many things that you do,
Okay.
Pisara. That's amazing. And I know you play a few instruments. Maybe you could tell us about the instrument that you play.
When I was very young, very young, I dreamed of being a violinist to the point that I even came to the school. Not entering, but came to visit one of the school in Germany and try to. I even learned German to understand like Beethoven better. But
Wow.
I was, but I didn't have talent. I mean, I didn't like I'm not like virtuoso. So I realized that I play to be like for the sake of the music. So I love violin so much, and what moved me is the purity, and I love something to play like Bach, Partita, some Paganini, Cantabile, and I haven't touched it. I touched it last week. I brought my violin.
Oh, really? You have it?
Yes, I have it.
Would you like to play something for us?
It's in the other
Next
apartment.
time, maybe next
Next,
time for you viewers
okay.
out there.
I need to practice it.
Maybe next time. Wow, we've got a few people online. Let's just say hi to everyone.
Hello, Jenny.
Great to
Hello,
have you.
Sabine. Wow, amazing.
Amazing. So like we said, we are here from Essenza Nobile, Mannheim, Germany. And we have our wonderful honorable guest here, Pisara from Dusita, her perfume brand. Um, and she's in Paris right now. And we are just so honored to have you here. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you once again.
And I'd like to ask you about Bangkok. You moved from Bangkok to Paris, and you
Yes.
said that you have enrolled into the Sorbonne University, especially to be allowed to immigrate to France. Is that the reason?
Actually, La Sorbonne is like my what I study first for the French languages because Sorbonne has a program called French civilization and culture. So we are there to learn to speak French. But
Hmm.
I was enrolled in a school called Esmode. It was a fashion school when you learn how to be a clothing designer. But the first day I went there, I also brought like 15 perfume sample to show my professor. And she was so frustrated, she had to open the window. Is that it? So basically, the Dusita was always in my mind from the very first day.
Wow. It's a true inner passion that you've had. Like since you said, since you were 3 years old, you were in the garden and you smelled these amazing smells, and they came into your aura through your family members in the house, your grandmother and your auntie. Such a touching story, really beautiful.
Thank
Thank
you
you for
so much.
sharing. Yes. And so basically you are self-taught in
Yes,
perfumery?
yes. So, um, I didn't go. I'm not against school at all. I love school. So basically, when I was in in my SMOD year, I also sent application to, all the French perfumery school in France, and
Mhm.
everybody reject me because I was too old. Second, I didn't study here at that time. At that time,
Mhm.
they didn't have like international program at all. But now many
Really?
of them have. Yeah.
Yes, yes. But you know what they say in life? First time you have to be told that you're not good enough in order to realize, because you always knew within yourself that this is your passion, this is your journey. And then look how the fruits have grown from the tree.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
beautiful. Wow. This is very inspirational for all of us out there to hear your journey. And so, which means you've never really attended any of these
Yeah.
famous perfumery schools,
Yeah.
but
So
nevertheless, you've been a very big inspiration from demanding perfume critics like Luther Turin and other ones that also see you as an inspiration, that how you taught yourself the process of perfume composition. Is that correct?
thank you so much.
Uh,
It's an honor. I believe that everybody can train our nose, can train our own nose by observing. And for me, it started from a passion, pure passion in a perfume collector in Bangkok more than
mhm,
10 years ago. And
mhm,
it started by analyzing the structure of the vintage perfume that I love. So I had a friend who is like a film director. His name is Anushi. He's very like passionate, and so we spend endless hours just to analyze what is in Chalima, like the old, what is the difference from this year to this year, and what they add more, what did they remove, like everything about infra. This is how we learn, and little by little we order the raw materials to complete our organ. It start from like some basic raw material like vanilla absolute, oak moss, ambergris,
mhm.
and then we start to have our bigger organ, and then I just compose it. We took some books in perfumery, the method of John Kaus, which I really recommend to everyone. It's a very simple method. It's about smelling. It's very easy. You understand the raw material one by one, and
Mhm.
you start to conceptualize the idea, and you just start to blend it with different proportion. 1 to 1, 1 to 2, 1 to 3, and it slowly you start to like learn like the effect, the smell.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
It's
And how the combinations come into one.
exactly. It's
Mhm.
I would call it like an old method, traditional method.
Yes.
And
Wow.
I'm still using my hand, my my a book, a pen. This is how the formulation look like to me. It's like my formulation. It's like just a book with
Wow.
you know with
Handwritten with your,
handwritten. Yeah,
uh-huh.
If I'm sure, I put it in Excel later.
Yeah, wow, very personalized. It's a very personal journey for you then, huh? Amazing. Yeah. So from your inspiration to the finished fragrance, how do you proceed when you create a new perfume? Is it
Yes.
always a different method?
Um, First, I think to decide first on like the now that I have several perfume in my collection. So first I decide with the Dusita team first what kind of olfactory family is gonna be. For
Mhm.
example, Moonlight in Chiang Mai, the last one. Um, I told my team that yeah, this one.
Beautiful. Yes.
Thank you. I told that I would like to create some masculine because I have so many people who ask me who are the perfume lover who are also some men and some women who prefer masculine perfume.
Mhm.
And I said, okay, I'm gonna create a masculine perfume, more masculine, unisex still that depict certain kind of feeling. And then we brainstorm and then I chose the poem of my father,
Yes.
which is on top of the screen.
It's a
It's
beautiful poem. You can please read it for us if you like.
our understanding comes not because we are on earth together, but because we are under the same heaven.
That those words. Oh,
And I think it's very suitable for this situation in the world right now.
exactly, exactly. Very, 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 very. It's very fits perfectly to the to the times that we're living in right now, which are so challenging. Um,
Exactly.
yeah. So we have the honor to have your perfumes in sale in our shop, and I'd like to ask you, since you are a very talented creator and also a perfume collector, how many perfumes do you own in your personal collection? Can you even count them?
And I didn't count.
I can. Wow.
Before when I was a student, one of my favorite activity Saturday Sunday I would find out where I can find the flea market in Paris,
Yes.
and there's one flea market which is like very like hardcore. I
Uh-huh.
had to be there at like 6 in the morning, and there you can find really old perfume for a good price. But I didn't go too often, but I go to other flea markets. So whatever I can see, that is like interesting.
Right. Right. That's really interesting. So you have 5 perfumes, am I correct, that you have created so far on the
You
market
you mean like Dusita?
from Dusita?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
we have three extrait. Uh, Isara Melody Lalamu with Infini, and
Yes.
then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have Moonlight is number 10. The
Moonlight is
10th.
number 10.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
It's a 10 creation.
Et le pavillon d'or.
Yeah, the last one.
Beautiful, beautiful. I
Thank
am
you. Oh, you
one of my
enjoy the
favorites.
pavilion?
Yes.
Ah, it's like a very relaxing, and I got inspiration when I went to holiday in France. I was staying near the lake, so it was there Pavillon d'Or was born.
And that was with it. Where did you say what place was this?
It was in Brittany.
In Brittany.
Yeah,
Ah,
there is a
lovely.
canal which is like
Yes.
Napoleon dig it like 300 kilometers,
Yes.
and I was staying in a place like an isolated house. We didn't have internet near the canal. Yeah.
Uh-huh. So you were totally free to just be inspired. Mm-hmm. Okay, Pisara, I wanted to ask you if from your collection, you said 10 pieces, correct?
Yes.
10 beautiful creations of yours. Which is your very personal favorite?
Ah, it's like a baby, you know.
Yeah, everyone is a baby of yours.
It's like when we try to like launch something, we think about it all the time. But like let's say that the perfume that I create and it connect directly to Dusita from the very beginning. And the amazing thing is I did this perfume. Actually, I did 3 perfume before my brand. So it means that I didn't create a perfume to start a brand. I created just like my passion. So it
Yeah.
was the perfume PISSARA. The very first day I was there with some friend. We are trying to like a kind of workshop on perfume creation in Bangkok, and I just start to play, and it was PISSARA that I start to blend. So
Beautiful. That sounds lovely. And finally, we would like to talk about your latest perfume composition, your latest
moonlight.
fragrance, Moonlight in Chiang Mai. And can everybody see this perfectly? I think so. Huh?
Ah,
See this beautiful flacon. It's
thank you so much.
lovely, lovely creation. And Chiang Mai is in the city north of Thailand,
Thailand, yeah.
which is known as the Rose of the North.
Yes.
Um, I would like you to share your beautiful story on the journey to Rose of the North on the mountain.
Many years ago, I had a chance. So I visit Chiang Mai many times, but I never visit the hill of Doi Suthep. It's a mountain. So Chiang Mai is a mountainous city. And I was remembering the time when a friend took me up to the top of the hill during the night, around midnight. And what I saw is a beautiful temple reflecting with the moonlight. And I look down on the hill and I see a little houses, villages, like a dot of light. And I was singing the poem of my father because it seemed like we are under the same heaven together. Actually, by looking down, I feel like, oh, we are one. We are unity, you know. We are just a dot connected to each other. So I want to create a perfume that represent this idea. So I realized that Chiang Mai, it has a lot of fruits. Thailand is famous for fruits.
Yes,
So I realized like I want to recreate a kind of special pineapple in Thailand by using the orange yuzu
yes,
from Japan, and I
yes.
also use the grapefruit to make it like sweetness, and
So
I
beautiful.
recreate this kind of tropical feeling fruit, and then I take the teak wood accord that I created with a blend of patchouli, sandalwood, oak moss, cedarwood together. So I have like this teak wood, which is like a little bit aquatic accord. Like
Mhm.
teak wood is like a famous wood forest in Chiang Mai. And it's a wood that's flat on the water, so you can build a boat of that with that. And then I connect together with the night blooming jasmine, which is subtly in the formulation. So this is the idea, and I start to. I actually, when we are far from home or the country we love, we tend to think about it and live it closely more in our mind. So it happened this year when I stay at home and I was thinking of my country. So that's to blend the perfume.
That's the blend of the perfume.
Yes.
Lovely. Moonlight in Chiang Mai. Ladies and gentlemen, please do not miss this chance to have the experience of this wonderful fragrance.
Thank you so much.
And I'd like to say, to end our lovely conversation here today, and for all of you out there that are watching, don't forget, um, please do not forget the very famous poet Montri Uma. Umavijani, yeah, and his special words that we are a small dot, we are a small dot, and we are all one in this craziness out here. And
Yes.
the legend that you carry out with your beautiful perfumes and with your everything that you have within you. And we thank you so much from the bottom of our heart. We are part of your journey, and that we were constantly reminded that life is good and life is precious, and we are all one on this universe. Thank you so, so much for this experience. We are so honored.
Thank you, Jessica. I'm so happy to share with you and so happy to know you.
Thank you. Same here. Thank you so much. I wish you all the best and a wonderful Christmas period. And to all of you out there, please don't forget that we have our special Christmas special for you. It's a
Ah,
draw, and maybe there is one winner out there today on our advent
yes.
calendar.
Comment in
Yes.
our
So you better
life.
get on there and keep those fingers tipping. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us with Essenza Nobile, Dusita, and PISSARA in Paris. All the best. Thank you so much.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Ah.